Natalie, we love to bring you to the show and have you share the journey that makes you who you are and what you've been doing today. And thanks for joining, all right?
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here.
And in our cultures, you're gonna come to our country in the next couple of years, right? So I'll share with you a little bit about culture first. So in our culture, it is very honor for our audience if we can have you to introduce a little bit about who you are and the work that you do.
Okay.
Would you please do that for us?
Yeah, sure. So I have over 30 years of professional experiences, ranging from being the head of a minister's office for the Ministry of Transport and Telecommunications of Republic of Slovenia, then being a head of mayor's office of the second largest city here in Slovenia. It's called Maribor. And today, of all days, it is the day of our city. So, it's like there are no coincidences, right? So me talking to you on our holiday, actually, it's really a pleasure, and it's a nice thing to do. So this, and then of course I've been very active through different NGOs, from Managers Association. You mentioned the projects, me being active on the gender equality topic issue. I've led a certain, include all project for the Managers Association for 3 years, together with the Ministry of Social Affairs in Slovenia. Then I worked for over 13 years for the second largest insurance companies in Slovenia. It's called the insurance company Sava now. There was this different name. And now I am the co-owner of the privately owned family business. It's called Insights. And what we do here is we discover first, and then develop the potentials of individuals, of teams, and of course of the companies. Because what I've discovered in the first 20 years of my career, okay, professional path, okay, it's perhaps a better expression, is that a lot of time people do things they don't like, they don't enjoy, and they even suffer whilst doing it, right? So it in my imagination there was this beautiful world where people would know what they like to do, what they enjoy, where they are brilliant at, and then they would do this stuff for the company, the organization, where they could align their cultures, their values, yes, their purposes. And I've discovered that actually throughout our educational system, we don't have the tools to do that. So most of the time, people come from the primary, secondary school, high school, etc., and they don't know who they are, basically. They know, what they can do, where they perform, what are their skills, etc., etc. But what are my values? Where do I can thrive? Yes. So after these 20 years with my husband, we said, okay, let's start something, and we did. So that's the long story made short, but you can ask
Absolutely,
some
absolutely.
questions.
That, and out of 441 people joining our show, you are the only person that have the working professional working for the government that join our show. So not only the 52nd country, but also the first person that have a long history working in the government body. And we're gonna bring you all the way back in time together with me, and then we examine that together. Was you okay with that?
Yeah, sure,
All
of
right.
course. I
Okay.
Yeah, I can just I can say that I was never politically involved. So when I was chosen to do the job of the head of the minister's office, it was like, you can do this because you are not political. Yeah, because the minister wanted to have someone by his side who would always tell him, hey, you're doing great, or, well, please reconsider these decisions. So from this standing point, it was quite okay to be at that time, because that was before Slovenia became part of European Union. So we were in this adjustment time. We were preparing very important documents. We were tracing, because we were at the Ministry of Transport and Communications, you can imagine the railroads, the highways, the air traffic, everything, and of course the communication, meaning telecommunications. At this time, I was there in 1996 till 2000, so it was quite a long time ago. And we already we have just started with mobile communications. Can you imagine? When I came to the Ministry of Transport and Communications, I'm stressing this right now, I've discovered that the ministry didn't even have the web page. Yes, so these were really basic stuff. So it was so empowering. It was so full of possibilities. Full of possibilities, because Slovenia only became independent a few years back. And it was like, we can do it all. We can achieve it all. We can make whatever we want in a positive way. I mean, now, yeah, we were really enthusiastic. And working with people like that, looking at the future of our country like that, it was actually thrilling. It was very satisfying for the first 2 or 3 years, and then the election time came and everything changed. So yeah, then you discover that maybe you are a bit too over idealistic, let's say. Yeah, so perhaps we had a bit too high set goals, and it was not possible to achieve them at the time being. But I'm still pretty sure that we made a quite solid foundation for other governments that came after this one. And yeah, okay, let's leave it.
See, Natalie, I think that moment when you say fulfilling, actually is really fulfilling, because the country has just been, like independent, right? And you guys are the first, people in the first generation of the government that built the foundation that led to the transformation of the nation later on. So you guys should be proud of all the works, all the prep work, all the actual works, and all the preparations and the other deals that you guys brought to the country. So allow us to enjoy being young again now. So when I was young, Natalie, I wanted to become an astronaut and go into different planet. Life didn't give me any chance to doing that. So when you were young, Natalie, what was your dream?
Yeah, my aspiration, right?
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to be involved in something to do with public, like either a teacher or a journalist, doing some great stories. And if I look back, I've always been involved in creating stories or covering stories or being part of the stories. So, and also being in the eyes of the, let's say, in the eyes of the storm, right? So in the middle of happening all the time. And I actually enjoyed it. So, and now I'm also a professor, senior lecturer at one of two actually privately owned faculties in Slovenia. So also this part of my dream came true. And 5 years ago, we started to publish because we met so many wonderful people, so many extraordinary teams, and so many inspiring organizations that we decided, like you did last year, right? Yeah. That we have to bring these excellent stories to other people in order to inspire them. And so this portal, Navdihni me in Slovenian, Inspire Me in English, was created 5 years ago. And we have published many, many stories since then. And we present, but these are stories from, we call them stories from people to people, for people, no? Right? Because we believe, our team believes that each and every one of us has story to tell, right? We all came to this world with a certain purpose, and you create different beautiful things along the way, and it is really good to share them with others, because you never know which little item, which little thing will inspire others to do some positive change, to create the change. I always have this mantra with me: be the change you want to see, right?
Yeah.
Be the change you want to see. So we can, if we move only one person to do the change, well, we achieve the goal. And I believe we have done that already, like you did as well. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people that listen to or watch these stories, these interviews you bring to worldwide, let's say, I'm pretty sure that the people listen and get inspired and do the change. And that's that I can't imagine doing anything more than this, because this is really something, well, this is really extraordinary. So once again, congratulations. I wasn't telling this or saying this just, pro forma. I really believe, and I'm really, when I've watched some of the interviews you've done already, I was quite, overwhelmed in positive way.
Wow, thanks Natalie for the kind words to us, and I also believe in the positive thing. So if we can change little, just a little,
Yes.
and those little add up, that will create something big, and then we're trying to do it so that it can create a ripple effects. And I told my friends and the people that listen to this show, if we can do it, we believe that they can always do it better than us and more impactful than us, and so we encourage them to continue to do and spread goodness around. So thanks a lot for the kind words, Natalie, and allow us to carry you to where the 20 years, after the 20 years that you've been into the professional career, and so you and your husband realize that there's something there is missing, right? The people are going to work and not having, not knowing their values, not knowing the mission, the purpose, and stuff like that. So you guys decided to found a company that can help, to create a company that can help people to find a purpose in their life. So that and tell us what leads you to that moment.
Yeah. So it wasn't only one moment. It was like a cascade of things that happened. It started at my previous job, because there were some changes in, let's say, the business was bought from other company. There were changes made in the leadership or the management level. And I wasn't feeling anymore this connection to the, let's say, to the chosen path of the company. And when you are not part of the solution, you become part of the problem. And I became part of the problem for this company. Yes, I'm being quite honest now. It took me some years to realize it, because I was always, why do we do this? This is not okay. This is not a smart decision. We should, and you go on and on and on, and then you're a problem, right? You become a problem. And then I said, okay, so what happened? What happened now? What happened was that my values, my inner, most important values, were not aligned with the values of the company anymore. And when you discover that, you have only two possibilities, actually. Well, you don't have many more. The first one is you pack up and you go. Or the second one is you duck your head down, you stay, and eventually you either get ill or you get very miserable. So not a good choice, right? So having this, I was lucky, actually. I have to admit, I was very lucky. I had a large network. I had a very supportive family, and I had great friends. And I also had a bit of a courage. So I started with my husband the company. So I'm not saying that this is the right path for everyone, right? You have to make smart decisions, okay? You have to make intuitive decisions, but also smart decisions. So I believe it was smart and very intuitive for me as well. I was always teaching people how to write business plans, how to, calculate things in, let's say, in numbers, right? So when I started, nothing was done correctly or according to my own teachings, because I was like, I trust that this was meant for me, and it was meant for me, for my husband, and now our out of 3 daughters already work as well with our company.
Wow.
So it's really a family business. It became family business through these 10 years. We will have the 10th anniversary on November the 1st.
November
This
the
is also a
1st.
holiday.
Wow.
So in 11 days, so it's all 1. It's all ones all over the places. Yeah, and well, so it was this cascade. I was going through some rough times because it's not easy, you know. If you give your blood and sweat and heart to a company, like I would say I did, it's not easy to admit to yourself that, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. And if I couldn't do it with all my, let's say, skills and knowledge and networking, etc., it's not easy for someone who doesn't have all that. Yeah. And so, sort of, I have different, you know, I've studied journalism, German language, linguistics, computer science, and then a PhD in management, which still waits for me, this thesis to write them, but okay, it will come when it comes. So really different fields, and it was from these different fields, it was for me, it was easy to build the business. On one hand. On the other hand, it was difficult to channel. What do I have this much knowledge? How do I channel this? Where do I want to put everything in and do only this? And it was overnight. This was actually overnight. It was like, you know, you can develop, you can discover, you can develop potentials of people. If you had this sort of struggle at the workplace, probably you're not the only one. So if you're not the only one, there is a potential niche for you. Yeah. Like, let's say, a blue ocean strategy. Okay.
Yep.
So I started to dig in, and I've discovered there are a lot of many people struggling with the same issues. And I said, okay, let's try. And first we tried with this pool, individuals. And then I've discovered that also companies want to attract people who have aligned values with their values. Yeah. So we transformed, let's say, the culture of the organization. And this is so much fun. When you start, it's all, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Why do we need it? We have so much other things to do. Why do we have to? Yeah, you know, you probably had your own experiences doing it. But then at the end, oh my God, this was so worth it. Now I enjoy coming to work. Waking up in the morning, and I'm looking forward to start my whatever it is that they do. So when you get this sort of feedback, this is, you know, my purpose, my goal. That's it.
Wow. You know, like you said, it was you was lucky. You was to establish at the beginning. To me, it's not. It's a well preparations, and it's very brave of you to do that. And I'll tell you why. I have a lot of friends who are executives for big organizations. They also, like you, have a lot of networks. They also, like you, also have a lot of, you know, knowledge and experiences. But then by the time they retire, you know, there's a few things that they regret, and one of those things, you know, that not start their own company when they were younger. You know, like and I keep telling them that they can always start now. So, but then, you know, back then they say that, you know, the comfortability sits in an organization with all the benefits you receive by the month and the year and the career ladder, the power, the relationships, the integrations, everything that stop them from, you know, brave enough to get out of that. And you guys have, you know, done it yourself. So I want to say congratulations for that. I know running the business is never an easy one, you know, and You only share the positive side of that, and definitely there was a lot of up and downs in doing that,
Sure,
right?
sure. A lot of ups and downs. I just want to comment on something. You
Ah,
know how I call this state of having so many benefits, etc., etc. I call it golden cage,
golden cage,
because you
yeah.
have everything. You are basically covered with gold, yeah,
Mm,
metaphorically speaking. But you are also in the cage
mm,
because you can't move out of it, out of the pillars that are set from the company side. So yeah, there are pluses and minuses regarding this. Yeah, but of course, throughout these 10 years, there were so many ups and so many downs, also tears. I'm not afraid to admit, because sometimes you have to cry.
mm.
You have to, you have to scream out loud, not at home, of course, obviously, but somewhere outside, outdoors. And then you can think clearly. Why? Because perhaps sometimes people hired us and these clients then afterwards didn't pay. Yeah, or there were some very difficult clients.
Mm,
But I always say everything, each person, each individual, each company, each client, each organization come on your path because you need the experience, because you need something and you learn from it.
mm,
So it's not important if you fall. Of course, we all fell, and we will continue falling down.
mm,
But and this is what I've learned. It was important to get up in the morning and start again.
mm.
Basically, really get up in the morning. Don't go like, oh my God, what will I do? Yeah, of course you can do that for like 5 or 10 minutes or half an hour or a few hours, even days. But then you have to get up and start again, because something new will come up. It always does. I know other people tell you that as well. I was like that. Yeah, it's easy for them. They have this and that and whatever, whatnot, And then I said, I don't have all that. What are we going to do? And then I was like, okay, calm down, breathe in, breathe out, and then we start again. It was just like that. No shortcuts.
Natalie, when we talk to you, right?
Yeah.
When I talk to you, that's a huge level of positive energy and a very good positive mindset come from whatever you share. So when you say like just do it again, things like that, right? It sounds very natural to you, but it's not easy for many people out there.
Yeah.
Teach us your
Yeah.
secret doing that, please.
Yeah. Well, I will say once again, I was lucky because I had great parents, who taught me that it's not important if I make mistakes, because we all make mistakes. It's important to apologize and not repeating them. So this was something that was brought to me from the very youngest age, my age, right? So when I was really little, I will never forget. It was, I don't like to use the word sin because it has some sort of connotations, etc. But it was really very bad in my primary family to lie, to say a lie. And I remember vividly, I was 5.5, I wasn't yet to school, so 5.5 years old, and I was playing with a screwdriver at the gate where I lived when I was a kid. And I was playing with this screwdriver and it fell in a pillar. Okay, it happens, right? So I was like, it fell, what now? Okay, nothing. I will pretend nothing happened. Okay, and then my father asked me, did you see the screwdriver? And I was like, no. No screwdriver? What is a screwdriver? And then he said, please reconsider once again. Did you see a screwdriver? And then I was like, no, I didn't. And he said, this was your first and last lie. And I was punished, of course. Nothing sinister or serious or whatever, but it stuck with me. So it was like, it's not important that you lost it. It is important, it is terrible that you didn't admit to it and that you didn't correct it. So this was like when I was 5.5 years old, right?
Yep.
I was very little at the time, and it stick with me. So this mantra is, okay, I make mistakes, but I correct them. I admit to them, I learn from them, and I correct them. And it's never too late to start thinking like that. If we make a mistake while we do business, or with a relationship with our clients, or we make mistake when we choose what we are going to do, so what? So what? We made a mistake, so what? Yeah, we can dwell a bit, we can, self-pity a bit, and then we move on. But you have to have the environment that supports you. That is also very important. Not only the nearest family, so husband, children, parents, but also wider. You have to talk about it. You have to really be honest with other people about it. And it is really surprising how much help you get if you ask for it. This is something I've learned as well. You are not self-sufficient. You can always ask for help. So do so. Do so. Wow. Don't be embarrassed. Nobody knows everything. Ask for help and you will get it. Yeah. Okay.
Natalie, how can you maintain this high level of energy and positivity over the years? I believe that not only you can create that energy for yourself, but that energy you have also transferred to the people around you everywhere you go. Also, I easily can see that. Tell us the secret though.
Yeah, so it is very important. Once again, I can't stress this enough. It is very important that you know your values. I'm back to the first sentence when we started speaking, right? It is really important that you live by them. If you do so, so many problems just disappear. Yes? So if the problems disappear, you don't have this huge amount of negative thoughts. People have approximately 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. And approximately 80% of these 60 to 80,000 thoughts are negative. And if you eliminate the negativity out of your world, so if you have your values aligned, if you live by them, if you're surrounded by people who share your values, who are driven by the same values as you are, then this, I would say, like 60-70% of the negativity falls off. So we eliminate a huge chunk of negativity. This is one thing. The second thing is, of course, there are a lot of things that that shake you, that throws you out of your whatever path you have chosen. Then you have to know how to calm yourself down. I meditate a lot, right? I meditate each day, every day for 20 years now. And I can say it is very helpful for me. Then surround yourself with animals. We have 3 dogs, 2 horses. And when we do, workshops and business transformation cycles, etc., we always try to do a part of it outdoors with equine assisted workshops or canine assisted workshops and coachings and psychotherapists, etc. So animals are great assistant actually. So this would be like my 3 top choices for you to try out. But these are mine, right? This helps me. You have to find whatever energizes you. There are so many different tools. You have to, study. You have to try. You have to try out. You have to try this and that, and then you will find what suits you well. Don't listen to others. Don't even listen to me, please. Don't. Try it, and you will see. If it's okay, then it works for you, then go ahead. If not, try something else. I have a lot of books here. The whole, and there is the next room next to me. There are 4 or 5 huge desks only with books. And a lot of them describe different types of stress relievers or meditation types or energizing exercises, etc. And I have tried a lot of them. So it's like, try, guess, works, doesn't work. etc., etc., until you find it, whatever suits you best.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing that, Natalie. So, meditations, and then spend time in the
Yeah,
nature with animals, and then the first one was like align the values in your life, find the values, and align it to the works that you do. So we're gonna
yep,
eliminate majority of the negativities around surround us, right? And
sure.
like you're saying, uh, I also believe the fun in trial and error, learn and experience. So we have to do to find what works for us, and then when we see it really works for us, then hold them all tied to our life and do it every day, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So this is very important to repeat it, not to be persistent,
mm,
not to think that okay, I've been doing this for a month now and now it's okay, it's all over. No, it's not. It's
mm,
it's every day. It's every
mm.
day. It's the 10,000 hour rule, right?
Yeah.
So you have to do it 10,000 hours, and then you have to do it for another 10,000 hours. It's a joke, but it's probably accurate. And I would like to stress something else as well. We develop as people through
Mm,
our life, right?
mm,
So what suited me 10 years ago, it's not necessarily what suits me now. So you have to be alert. You have to be in sync with yourself.
mm,
In sync with yourself. You have to listen to your body, because it tells you if it's okay or not. It gives you signs, right?
mm,
If I have a headache, if I have a bad ache or whatever, my body is trying to tell me something. Do I hear it? Do I react to it? Do
mm,
I take a pill and I forget? No, right?
mm.
I go into myself and I start asking myself,
Wow.
what is going on? What has happened lately? Why do I experience this pain or this ache or whatever? And then I have to be really open to myself.
Mm,
And and when I get the answer, then I really have to change. Usually you have to change something. So
yep.
don't stop. If you discover something that's okay, that works for you, that's fine, that's excellent. But don't stop there. Listen to yourself,
Mm,
because body has a huge intelligence, and it really communicates through different types of signals with us. We
mm.
just need time to realize it, to see it, to feel it.
Wow. I totally agree with that. And thanks a lot for bringing that up. Natalie, I have three last questions for you for today. All right.
Okay.
And
Okay.
first is regarding to the works that you do. There will be
Yeah.
many. First, that works that you are doing is very noble, and because it's one of the best things to do in life is to educate. Is education, right? Is helping people
Yeah.
to make the best out of themselves, make organization to do the best that they could do, so that the employees going to work happy, going home be happy employees. They can share very beautiful conversation at the dining table, and imagine like young generation sit down with their parent, happy
Yeah.
workers, right? They're gonna go to the workforce with so much of positivity about the future, about the works, and that is partly related to the works of the people that you are doing. So um, if somebody out there wanna go into this space and provide the same similar works like you do, and they want to
Yeah.
be successful, what would be some advice Natalie could give to them?
Yeah. First, love people. You
Love
have to
people.
love people in order to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And second, listen to people.
Listen.
Don't talk. I talked a lot today. I'm talking a lot, right? Because we are talking, because we are sharing. But otherwise, I ask questions and I carefully listen to what people say, and I carefully observe how people react,
Mm.
because it's not necessarily the same what they are saying and what they are feeling, what they are experiencing, and what they are actually needing.
Yep.
So be careful. This would be my two, like heart, let's say from my heart.
Mm. Love people, then listen, right? Listen to what
Yeah.
they say. And so
And how to say.
what they say and how they say. So to make sure that we can truly understand about what is up to the person intending to
Yep.
or meanings, right? And
Right.
the second question is your works, your life, your works involve a lot of thinking, Natalie. All right, and my wife and I have been on the quest to help people improve their ability to think because we believe that our ability to think these days uh, decreasing is not increasing at all. And every chance that we talk to people that works involve a lot in thinking, we ask this question. So Natalie, how have you been doing? How have you been helping yourself to expand the ability to think?
First, I was really, for me, brain gym worked excellent. So I do a lot of brain gym work, right, like this, and other stuff, like this. And you do that with the whole body. Then
what is that
use
called?
a lot of brain gym.
Brain
It's called
gym.
brain gym. You have YouTube videos all over the place. So just write down brain gym. It's like working out for the brains. Yeah.
Okay.
So brain gym, and the other stuff is lateral thinking with the Bono methods of different type and different styles of thinking and looking for solutions. And this is also, you can find books in English. I believe there are some also available for free on the web.
The sit head thinking thing, right? Is that the book?
Yes, exactly. Lateral thinking, six head thinking.
Yeah.
This whole concept from the Bono. This is something that we like to use, and there are of course many different methods, and you have to once again trial and errors. Try it out and you will see what works for you, but don't sleep on your knowledge. This is the first rule. Don't sleep on your knowledge, because the knowledge expands. It's miracle. It's like, what can we do? Yeah.
Absolutely amazingly that when I look at the research result earlier of last year, it say that all the skill that we hone will be expired every 2 years, so we have to keep update every 1.5 years to make sure that our skills are up to date, our knowledge also up to date. Otherwise we'll be becoming like outdated very soon, though.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
And so leave me the last question for today, Natalie. And we knew that the 5.5 years old Natalie play with the screwdrivers, and then it's the first and the last time. It's a long time, a good life lessons on being truthful, being honest, right? And then carry on to doing great works. And for the past 10 years, you've been helping organization and people to align their values and bring the best out of themselves. With a lot of great exciting projects that you've been doing, we want to head into the future a little bit here, Natalie. Is there anything that you are working on that's exciting and you want to share with us now, so we can celebrate with you in advance?
So yeah, as I was mentioning, we are approaching our 10-year milestone,
1st,
and we will have the whole year of celebration. We are planning certain events also from people from all over the country, so from all over the world, from South Africa, from Australia, etc. It will be online, of course, because now we are all connected.
Yep.
One good thing that came out of COVID situation, right? So this is a short time planning, and the long-term planning, let's say, we are planning some different approaches with our two daughters, and I believe there are some new stories will emerge out of this stories, out of these approaches, and I'm really looking forward. Being almost 52 years old, I believe that I've just started. So when you were saying you are never too old, you're really basically never too old to start whatever you were imagining as a child or throughout your life. You can start it whenever you want. And when is the right time? The right time is now. So this is my last thought for you.
Hey, thanks a lot. We wish you all the best, all of the support, all of the the results you're gonna have, so that you can continue the path that you guys are doing. And thanks for doing all sharing all of the positivity, great stories around, so that you can enlighten the people's days to have whatever that they are having for that day. Definitely gonna be a good time, good for them. So thanks for doing that, and please keep up with doing more of that. And I look forward to one day we'll be able to see you, your husband, your daughters in Vietnam, and that would be wonderful.
Yes, once again, thank you for having me. And once again, congratulations on this wonderful project. And we will gladly share it with our network as well, because you have so many inspirational guests and so many inspirational stories as well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye bye for
Okay.
now. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.